All right, welcome back to Just Car Guys, a show where me and my dad talk about the latest and greatest car news and car stories from the last week.
As usual, I haven't seen any of the content that Anthony's put together for us today, so looking forward to seeing what you've got this week.
It's pretty awesome. We got some really cool stuff.
Oh,
so
good.
First up here, the 2022 Porsche Panamera gets a new trim level.
Okay.
The Platinum Edition Panamera is available on the base 4 and 4E hybrid models. For an extra $14,500, you get mainly cosmetic changes with black trim, smoked out taillights, satin platinum 21-inch exclusive design sport wheels, and the sport exhaust. Then on the inside, you get brushed aluminum trim, special Platinum Edition badging, and 14-way adjustable seats, heated front and rear seats, ventilated front seats, and a Bose surround sound system. Pricing for the 2022 Porsche Panamera Platinum Edition starts at $103,250.
Wow. I like it. I like the way it looks.
I mean, there's nothing really not to like about it. That's
no,
for sure.
No, it's a
Panamera.
simple design. Like if you look on the inside, it's but elegant.
nice.
It's which is the point, right?
Exactly.
For that kind of
100%.
car. Awesome.
I love it. Next here, Ford shared a first look at the 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor. Arriving next year, the 2023 Ford Bronco Raptor joins the high-performance off-road nameplate with tons of aggressive modifications, turning this into a beefy off-roader. With Fox dampers, 37-inch all-terrain tires as an option,
37s,
and a significantly wider stance. They have yet to share any details on how this beast will get its power, but it is rumored it will use a significantly more powerful version of the EcoBoost V6 with horsepower expected to be upwards of 400.
Wow. It's going to need to be to turn those 37s.
Yeah.
I mean, you see how much wider the fender flares are?
It's huge.
Yeah. This is going to 37s on those. Wow.
Pretty awesome.
That's cool. You know,
Looks very
I'd be
wide.
interested to hear what else they do to pull that off, because I know when you step up to 37s on like a Jeep, you've got to do some serious modifications to the axles and things like that to be able to support the mass of those 37s. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of the underpinnings and
cool.
what they end up doing to beat that thing up.
Mazda is giving us a brand new SUV. Mazda is preparing to reveal several new SUVs, the newest one being the brand new Mazda CX50. The CX50 is being pitched as a more off-road capable SUV with higher ground clearance and some more rugged style accessories available. The styling also plays into this with lots of black plastic cladding, some other styling features, and optional all-terrain tires. The front end sees a refresh from current Mazda models with a sharper and more modern-looking squared-off headlights. The SUV features a 2.5-liter inline-4 engine, producing both 187 horsepower and then 250 horsepower in the turbocharged version, with all-wheel drive coming standard and a 6-speed automatic transmission. Production is slated to start in July of 2022.
Interesting. Did they say anything about like the transmission? I know you mentioned that's all-wheel drive, but like a locking differential or like being able to put it in 4-low. Like if they're going off-road,
I don't. Well, it's like I think it's Outback off-road is what it's like.
Yeah, fair point.
I don't think it's like that off-road.
Well, it's about time though. I mean, they've had SUVs for a little while, but
Yeah.
they haven't had an off-road focused one. Where you could take it a little further into the backcountry.
Look
So
at that.
that's pretty nice.
I like that interior. So what's very interesting that I'm just now noticing is there's not a giant screen in the middle.
Yeah,
There's
just
like
up
one just
top
up there and it's a little
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
Now, we finally have some more details on a potential next generation of Nissan GTR.
Okay.
In a recent report from Autocar, it appears the next GTR will feature a hybrid powertrain and a V6 engine. Autocar spoke with Nissan CEO Makoto Uchida, who said, quote, "We are looking at how we can do it electrified," end quote. The GTR is definitely getting a refresh, this being confirmed back in 2018. Yet another interview with Autocar with Nissan's design chief Alfonso Albaisa, I do not know, who said, quote, "We're definitely making a new platform," end quote. Unfortunately, as far as details go, that's all we have, but can I just say, I'm definitely excited for a refresh because it's old. They got to change it.
It's due for sure. Yep. Yeah, I
Like,
can't wait to see
we've had
how
the
they
same
mold
thing.
that. I mean, again, the beauty of that car really in the engine,
Oh, yeah.
So if they're going to make it a hybrid, that's going to be pretty cool.
The United Nations Climate Change Conference revealed some huge news from automakers. So at this conference in Glasgow, Scotland, 6 major automakers, including Ford, General Motors, Volvo, Jaguar Land Rover, and Mercedes-Benz, as well as 30 national governments, signed a pledge to stop sales of new gas and diesel vehicles by 2040 globally and 2035 in, quote, leading markets.
Wow, that's an aggressive target.
Yeah.
2035? Huh.
That's crazy.
Okay. They better get to building some infrastructure.
I know. It's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a steep goal they have there. So with the United States, China, Japan, Toyota, Volkswagen, and Nissan, and Renault all refrained from joining the pledge, which is interesting. It is, of course, not legally binding and merely just an agreement to work towards 100% zero-emission new car and van sales.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Again, they've got to build that infrastructure, and it's
Yes.
got to be in such a way. I mean, it takes 20 minutes, right, to get an 80% charge on most of these electric vehicles, right? So that is at least 4 or 5 times longer it takes to fill up a tank of gas.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see long lines. You're going to see people are going to need something to do during that time. So
Which Tesla, I think, has done a very good job at figuring that out.
Yeah.
And coming up with creative solutions. I mean, they have all those. You watch Netflix in there. They've got games that use the steering wheel from the car. They've got some of those places even have little snack bars and places to get drinks and hang out. Like some of those big supercharger centers. They're also looking at starting to open those up to other manufacturers, which is interesting.
That would be a good idea. Yeah.
Now, from something lame and electric, we go to V12 gloriousness. Ferrari has an incredible new one-off creation, introducing the Ferrari BR20, which is a 2-seat V12 coupe derived from the GTC4 Lusso. So the BR20 ditches the GTC4 Lusso rear seat for a sloped roofline. The 6.3-liter V12 offers up 680 horsepower and 514 pound-feet of torque. The Ferrari also gets a redesign and separate itself from its practical donor car with much more aggressive aerodynamics and a much more chiseled design all the way around the car. The interior then sees 2 shades of brown leather and plenty of carbon fiber accents. The BR20 was developed for a, quote, long-standing customer, end quote, and there are no details on the price.
One off. Wow.
That is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Look at, it's a very interesting interior, too. It looks like that interior that, looks like it's from a couch. Especially the seats. Bro, I've seen that somewhere. That looks familiar.
Those are a little more soft
Grandpa
and supple
leather
versus sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. I mean, this is a GT car, right? It's supposed to be comfortable and still just
being so
just
cool.
Ripping some back
that
roads
Ferrari
that's awesome.
makes a car just for you.
Oh man.
That's ridiculous.
It's not cool. It's cost that dude a fortune.
Oh, absolutely.
Or woman, right?
I
don't know.
Yeah,
it could be,
exactly.
right? Whatever. Whoever it is, it's gonna be
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Ferrari making you a one-off vehicle. They must have do you think they have a department for that? They do 5 cars a year that they just do special for people.
How one-off do you think it really is? There's gonna be
that's a 4 Lusso. That is not a super fast. They took a 4 Lusso and just changed it. It's pretty one-off.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. I would like to. I'm sure at some point the cost is going to come out.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So I can't wait to hear how much it's there.
I mean, it's got to be millions.
For sure.
Subaru has revealed more photos of the 2023 Solterra EV SUV. So the 2023 Solterra is an all-wheel drive 2-motor electric SUV that is very closely related to Toyota's BZ4X. The SUV features a glass roof lighting up the entire cabin over both front and rear seats. The center console features many storage areas and a wireless charging pad. And the 2 electric motors produce a total of 215 horsepower, and it comes with an X mode, which controls each wheel individually to provide better traction, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
There still have not been any range or performance numbers released yet, but Subaru says cruising range was designed with, quote, the distances of daily use, quote, end quote, in mind. The 2023 Solterra debuts next week at the LA Auto Show, which is actually this week, did debut. And, I mean, it's not bad.
No.
It's a Subaru and a Toyota.
I think we're going to see a lot more of these like small size SUV, electric SUVs.
Oh, absolutely.
From just about everybody.
I feel like that's really, honestly,
that's where the
at
everyday
this moment,
market
that's the
is,
best
right?
segment for it, is a small crossover SUV that's electric. I mean, that's perfect for a lot of everyday consumers. Now, I love how every single time we have an electric car, there's a transition into something that's so far the opposite. Chevrolet will soon offer a Z06 customer race car. The Chevy Corvette Z06 GT3.R customer race car will be available in 2024. The C8.R laid down the groundwork for the Z06 flat plane crank V8 engine and will now be replaced by this new Z06 GT3.R. Customer race car uses the same aluminum chassis as the C8 Z06 road car, but it is of course modified just a little bit for track use. The naturally aspirated 5.5 liter V8 is also modified for track use and will be limited to between 500 and 600 horsepower due to racing regulations. The race car is still undergoing testing, and full specs and pricing will be released next year. That thing is awesome.
It really is. Yeah, they did an amazing job.
Like now that's a good looking C8.
All the way to the next level.
Like, dude, so cool.
Gosh.
Look at the rear end.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The splitter back there.
I love it. I want to see one in person. That thing is so awesome.
For sure. Wow.
Now, this caused quite the controversy. Some people are not happy with what this vehicle is and what it looks like, but the Acura Integra prototype is here. The 2023 Acura Integra prototype features a turbo 4-cylinder and a 6-speed manual transmission. Replacing the current ILX, the Integra rides on the same platform as the Civic Si and shares its 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with limited slip differential. Did not give any details on horsepower, but is expected to be around 200. And the 4-door hatchback will feature all these enthusiast-focused features and will start at roughly $30,000.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people really. I mean, it is slightly disappointing. The rear end, I think, looks great.
Rear end looks better. Yeah. I
Front
agree.
end's a little disappointing.
It's a little basic.
Yeah.
You know, especially I felt like the teasers were going to bring something a little more special, but it's an Integra. I mean, you know, yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah, but people are
It's
very
really?
not happy.
What,
with
they
this.
want it to be more extreme? Or
Yeah, I think so. But the Integra was never extreme, so that's what I don't understand.
Not extreme, but it was a little more sporty, a little more special than just a regular, 4-door sedan. So
I do like the rear end a lot, though.
yeah, they did a nice job on that.
Rear end looks good. What's up with the tips? Yellow?
The orange inserts on the exhaust tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the hell?
It's weird.
That is really weird.
They're starting a new fad. Maybe?
I hope not.
Get orange calipers. You get the calipers and your the inside.
Get the inside of your exhaust tips painted.
So they'll stay orange for all of about 10 minutes until you get on it, and then yeah.
Next up here, Toyota has refreshed the RAV4. So the 2022 Toyota RAV4 gets some sleek new headlights, new colors, and the new SE Hybrid trim. The SE Hybrid is positioned just beneath the XSE and features a 7-inch touchscreen, 6-speaker audio system, and cloth seats. The SE Hybrid trim also brings a new color to the RAV4 called Cavalry Blue, which I really like that color.
Yeah, it's a good color blue.
Then there's some minor updates to almost all of the other trim levels in the RAV4 lineup, and Toyota has not revealed the pricing of the 2022 RAV4, but a slight increase should be expected over the 2021 model.
So many of these things are personal preference, but I feel like the front end on that, they made it a little more truck-like, right?
I have the same thought.
You can see the spirit of like the Tacoma or 4Runner in
100%.
that, and so it's more like a mini truck versus a car.
Yeah,
you know?
and I
So,
like it. I like the Raptor. Honestly, I don't think there's a Toyota vehicle I don't like.
Toyota
at the
does a
moment.
good job. So
They're just
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Now, you know who else is just good, and how we're going to finish off today's episode with some absolutely fantastic news. Now, for my favorite story, the car nobody thought Porsche would make.
Oh, yes.
Introducing the 2022 Porsche Cayman GT4 RS.
Yes.
So good. So Porsche has stuffed the same 4-liter flat-six engine from the 911 GT3 into the GT4.
Finally.
Meaning it revs up to 9,000 RPM and makes 493 horsepower. Insane.
We've always wanted a 911 engine in the Cayman platform. Yep. Now it's a 718. This GT4, I mean, finally. Mid-engine, 9,000 RPM.
Beautiful.
Wow.
So unfortunately, the RS does not have a manual option like the regular GT4, but the PDK ensures this thing rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds and reaches a top speed of 194 miles per hour. And 3.2, I mean, it's faster than that. It has to be. I mean, we know Porsche. They're like, oh, yeah, it does 3.5. And then people are running 3s, you know?
Right. Well, I'm sure in that platform, they're going to have trouble getting it to hook up, right? I mean, the stuff that's faster than that is like your turbos and things like that, which are all-wheel drive, right? So rear engine, of course, the PDK, launch control will help it. So there's probably going to be people running 2.9 with that thing.
It has to be.
Yep.
So Andreas Pruninger, who is head of the GT department, said the RS is, quote, the most intense sound ever in a GT car, end quote.
So I've heard a clip of that thing.
It is insane.
Especially
once it gets
from
up
8 to 9,000 RPM.
That
extra 1,000.
It is so good. So, of course, you can also expect tons of aerodynamic pieces like the swan neck rear wing, adjustable front diffuser, fender vents, and just so much more. The GT4 RS will cost $141,700, and the first car should reach U.S. hands in the summer of 2022. It's just so good.
It's fantastic. A couple of things that I want to point out on it because I really like what they've done with, well, first off, they got a brand new wheel color, which is pretty cool. It's like a blue color, which is awesome, especially on that. And now they obviously they brought over a handful of things from the RS, from the GT3. So you got the Nakaducks and the fins up on the fenders. Yeah. But one of the things I really like is they replaced that back quarter window with a
inlet.
Yeah, that's an air intake.
So cool.
And so what I heard on one of the clips I watched was that a lot of the noise that comes from this thing, not only from the 9,000 RPMs coming out of the exhaust, but it's the induction noise.
Yeah.
And that thing is, it's right by your head.
Yeah. I bet that sounds fantastic.
Oh, that is, you've got to get goosebumps driving that thing. I mean, I'm getting them right now just talking about that car.
So
that thing
cool.
is awesome.
The interior too. It's just awesome.
Really cool. And as cool as it is, I'm like chomping at the bit for the GT3 RS.
I can't
like
even
this
imagine.
Is just a
if this is a step beneath that, like what's the GT3 RS?
Totally, because the GT3 is mind blowing. It is wonderful, right?
It's fantastic.
Now they've got this is and this is supposed to slot in just underneath that, right? But the GT3 RS.
And if they keep it going, what about GT2? Imagine a next-gen GT2 RS.
Yeah,
that would
be 800
ridiculous.
Some horsepower in that thing.
That would be insane.
Anyways, but how great?
Oh, it's beautiful. I think it's maybe one of my favorite cars to come out this year.
Yeah,
I like it over the current GT3.
For sure.
That's for sure. I love it. Now, speaking of Porsche news, we have more from Porsche on the Taycan. Introducing the 2022 Porsche Taycan GTS. Best electric car out there, in my opinion. Looks fantastic. Coming with the larger 93.4 kilowatt hour battery pack and 2 electric motors, the Taycan GTS has a combined 590 horsepower. Porsche claims this will rocket the EV sedan from 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds, but many consider this to be more like 3 seconds, and in many tests, the Taycan 4S has done it in 3.4 seconds. The model also gets some trim-specific tuning to its active air suspension, torque vectoring rear end, and many visual modifications. For example, a more aggressive front front fascia, black accents everywhere, 20-inch wheels, and the theme continues to the interior. The Taycan GTS starts at $132,750 and are available for order now with delivery starting in the middle of 2022. I think, now this is a bold statement, but I think if you really look at it and you really drive them and you check them out and you look at every detail, Porsche may just be the best car company out there at the moment. In my opinion.
The way they've structured their all the different model
and
ranges
they don't miss.
and no, they're
It's
spot
ridiculous.
on. And every one of those has a place,
Yeah.
right? Like the GTS is, depending on what you're looking for, that's going to be the best option out there.
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
turbo is going to be the best option for some. And
They've segmented their brand.
They put those
perfectly.
packages together in such
But
a way that
You're an
it's
enthusiast
perfection.
and you love driving,
Yeah.
but you got to carry the kids around and your dog. Have a Cayenne,
Right.
and it's still awesome and fantastic. And if you're loaded with money, get the
GT.
Cayenne GT, and you can still take it to the track and kill everybody.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Porsche. They
So
just do
wonderful.
fantastic
Such an
stuff.
emotional brand, really,
Yeah, they're so cool.
I am just, this is a taste of what is to come with electric too, right?
Like if it continues like this, I'm kind of all right with it. If they
Yeah.
can, the noise
Give
is
me the
all we're
noise.
missing.
Give me the
That's all
noise,
we're
but they'll
missing.
figure it out. They'll do something.
They have
I'm
to.
sure.
Look at that. Like if that
I like those wheels, by the
that
way.
has a noise, that'd be fantastic. I think those
Yeah.
are new wheels. I
Yeah.
don't think those have been
The GTS option.
available.
Yeah.
So that looks awesome. Make that thing make noise, and I'm sold.
Very cool.
All right, well, with that is it for today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at AnthonyCIFAL. With that, you have an excellent rest of your week.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Peace out.